Instagram algorithm update 2020. Hello everyone, welcome back to the GOSO channel. My name's Chris and today's video is going to be about the Instagram algorithm update 2020. So recently Instagram have been making a lot of changes to the algorithm, but they've also been bringing out loads of new features. Some of them are already out, some of them they're beta testing in certain countries, but it's very refreshing and nice to see that Instagram, for once, are actually focusing on improving the platform by bringing in new features, rather than just annoying people and blocking them all the time for no reason. So recently, TikTok is absolutely blown out of the water, and this has made Instagram also up their game, and they've made so many new changes to the platform. And one of the main areas that Instagram really had issues with was IGTV. Not many people at all were using it. No one really went through on the profiles to check it out. So Instagram have been bringing out loads of new features for IGTV, which are surprisingly really good. And the first one is with the live videos. So now on IGTV, they've added something new for when anyone is streaming live. Now what you can do is you can now buy badges when you're watching someone who's streaming live, and you'll rank higher up on the comments. Depends on the badges that you can buy. There are different prices. You can buy 2 of them, so you'll rank even higher. Some people may say this is just a complete waste of money, but if you do buy the badges and a lot of people are watching live and you're going to rank really high, you have got a lot more chance of people actually seeing your profile and possibly checking you out if you're leaving some interesting comments there as well. So Instagram are making more improvements to IGTV, and this is now they're trying to turn it into YouTube. So you can monetize the videos that you have on there and you can make money directly from the platform. Now Instagram have been looking at this for quite a while, because most of the influencers who actually make money on Instagram make it outside of the platform, but just use the platform to get traffic. They're trying to change this now, so they're trying to make sure that influencers, celebrities, you name it, can earn money from their profile directly from the platform itself. So if you've not looked into IGTV before, start having a look, because Instagram are putting so much focus on this right now, and it could end up making you quite a lot of money. So as I said, Instagram are now trying to help people make as much money as possible on the platform. And a big area that they've been doing a lot of updates is the Instagram shopping. Now this year, recently, you'll now see in the top right-hand corner the logo or the icon for Instagram shopping, which will take you through to the website to then buy, and then you can come back. Now Instagram have been looking at how to improve this, and one of the things is they've now implemented a tag that you can put into the caption so you can go through and buy. But another thing they're also working on as well is actually kind of building a landing page within Instagram itself, so you don't have to leave the platform when you are making purchases, and then you can go straight back to your feed and continue looking at the posts. Now this is going to be massive for Instagram as well, because the less amount of clicks it takes to buy, the more or larger chance that you have of actually making that sale as well. This is not in every country yet. As it stands, this is going to be tested across the world, but keep an eye open for this, because it could be something fantastic. Something else that Instagram have just released, which is helping many businesses out there, but also as well, it's helping a lot of profiles get a lot more engagement through the stories. And that is tagging a local or tagging a small business that's close to you. Now you probably don't think it actually works, but if you do put it on your stories, Instagram do favor stories that actually have that, because they want to help smaller businesses. So if you do put that tag into your story, you've got a higher chance of actually ranking your story higher compared to where you normally would. So whenever you're putting a story out there, make sure you tag and put a hashtag in. It's absolutely essential, but try it now. From now on, start always tagging if it's applicable, with the support local business tag, and see how many more views you'll get on your stories compared to when you don't use it. So for example, if you're going out and you're going to do a couple of stories and you go to a certain bar, make sure you tag that bar in your story with the support local business, and you will get a lot more views on your stories than before. Whether you go to a restaurant, whether it's a clothes shop, it doesn't matter, but make sure you use that tag and you tag the correct business in it. They're not only just going to get a notification themselves, but you're going to get more views, and this really does work. We've been trying it on quite a few accounts, and they are, not every time, but they do get more views. So you've probably seen over the last couple of years as well, Zuckerberg, Facebook, Instagram, they've all been under the spotlight for either leaking data or selling data to other companies. And this is happening exactly at the moment with TikTok and the Chinese government. So this has prompted the platforms to do something about it. So from now on, you can actually download all the data that Instagram, Facebook has of you. And you'll be quite surprised, because I recently downloaded the information from my Facebook alone, and that was 15 gigabytes of information that they had about me. And you probably don't know this, but Instagram actually know you better than yourself, because they've been recording that data for, if you've been on it for 5-6 years, and every single questionnaire that you've ever filled out, every single photo you've ever liked, they store all that information. So if you haven't done it, go and download your information and actually find out who you are. So with TikTok recently blowing most of the other social media platforms out the water with their short videos with the music, Instagram have also done the same, but it's slightly different. So if you haven't heard of it, it's called Instagram Reels. Now on TikTok, you can have a 1-minute video. Instagram Reels is only 15 seconds, but it pretty much is what TikTok does, just on a slightly smaller scale. There's a lot more themes that you can use. There's more stickers, a lot more music than you can currently use as well. And I predict that this is going to become one of the biggest things on Instagram due to the fact of the success of TikTok. So if you've not had a look, go and check Instagram Reels out, because it's actually quite fun as well. So as I said before, it's really refreshing to see Instagram actually putting the effort in and building so many new features for the platform and trying to make it better rather than just blocking people for pointless reasons out there. So I've not been able to say all the new features that they're doing, obviously, because we've not got hours and hours of video, but here are some of the others that you should expect to see, or you might already see them on your Instagram depending where you are in the world. And as everyone's probably seen, to save battery, there's now dark mode. You can also post on multiple accounts, which is a recent thing. I know in Europe we have it, I'm not too sure the rest of the world. Now they're helping you a lot more with also the stories. So you can get story templates, and as well, something that I think is very, very useful and can really, really help your account is suggest unfollow. Now, what this does is Instagram will have a look at your behavior and what you do. And if you never actually click on a profile, or you're not interested in anything that a certain account has, it will suggest it to you to unfollow that account due to the fact is you never engage with it. So this can be something very, very useful. Also with the DMs, they're now helping you organize your DMs a lot better than before. Instead of just having one feed, you've got a lot of different options, a little bit like a Gmail, to make it easier to find different messages from different people. And with many, many young people joining the platform, same as TikTok, they are now adding in an age limit. So you can set an age limit to your profile. For example, 18 years old, so nobody who's younger than 18 years old can see your profile, interact with your profile, comment, etc., etc. So yeah, if you are a brand and you don't really have any use of having younger people on your profile, it is pretty important to go on there and set your age limits to make sure that you find the right people, and also people who shouldn't be looking at your content aren't looking at your content, even though there are technically no laws as such yet. With social media and how old you can be to use social media. This will be something that governments will start to implement over the next coming years. So be very careful. You really, if you've got a big brand, you don't want 12, 13-year-old children commenting on your brand. So it's a lot better, set that age limit and protect yourself. So now I've explained some of the new features for Instagram, it's time to move on to the algorithm changes that we're seeing in 2020 rather than 2019. And one of the big things that we're seeing at the moment is, compared to 2019, that video content was getting a lot more engagement than normal posts or just photos. Now it seems to be more or less the same. If you don't see that and you're getting a lot more engagement on videos, please leave a comment below. I'd be very interested to check out your stats and have a look through your profile. But from what we can see at the moment is photo posts and video posts are getting pretty much the same amount of engagement. So one of the biggest changes in 2020 by a mile is that Instagram now focus on the ratios of your account and the timings in your account as well. And what I mean by ratios is that your likes are correct with the views, comments, saves. Example, if you've got 2,000 likes, but you don't get any saves and you don't get any comments, Instagram instantly know that you are using services, and they won't rank you, or it might even damage your profile as well. So if you are using GOSO services, other services around the world, make sure you speak to the company, and whenever you do put services on, it does look natural. You have the correct amount of likes compared to the correct amount of views, also with comments. So most of our clients that are getting the best return for money with GOSO services are the ones that are doing it correctly and have the ratios of the whole account perfect. Now let's say you've got an account with 2,000 followers. You should more or less have likes between 100 to 200, views as well, 100 to 300, a couple of comments on there, and also saves. So it's a lot better to get a small likes package, small views, small hyper priming, and small saves to make it look natural, rather than buying a big package of power likes, for example, that have 500. Now this was the way to go viral back in 2017, 2018, by buying a really large likes package and adding it to your account. This is not the case at all. So you need to be very, very careful. It's now a lot better to have less likes and more saves, more hyper priming, and more views and comments, rather than just having more likes. So make sure you look out for that whenever buying Instagram services. And make sure the engagement that you have corresponds with the amount of followers as well. Your engagement rate should be around about 5–10% at the very, very top. So if your engagement rate is more than 10% and it doesn't look very natural, you're going to struggle to grow your account. But apart from the ratios, I mentioned timings. Now this is something pretty new to 2020, but Instagram time absolutely everything that you do on the platform, from how long you're on the platform, how long you spend on other people's profiles, how long you spend watching videos, how long you spend watching people's stories. Everything that you do is being timed. And this is exactly the same with the engagement that you get. Engagement is no longer just within the first hour. I still hear people asking for services to all come within the first hour. It's extremely dangerous, and you have to be very, very careful, because you're going to get your account blocked. Because Instagram algorithm does not work like that anymore. It's a lot longer period. If you go onto the hashtags now, you'll see that some of the hashtags are a couple of days old, and also as well with the explore page. Some of the posts on the explore page are 7 days old. So now here at GOSO, we do many tests on the algorithm every single day, and we set our accounts to drip feed in accordance with how the Instagram algorithm is working at any given time. So you will not get all your services within the first hour unless you're on the smallest packages. It needs to be drip fed depending on the size of your account. Sometimes it can be up to 12 hours, and Instagram will always be watching this as well. And if you can imagine a graph, and as it's going up, you want the line to be a steady curved line going up. If you get a big increase of likes all of a sudden, then you don't get anything else, then you get another big increase. It's very, very easy for Instagram to see this, and they're not going to rank your posts. So it's a lot better to spread it over quite a few hours and have that gradual increase of overall engagement. And if you mix this, the timings, with also the ratios, and you do everything correct, you will grow on Instagram. So something that every single person should be doing, and if you hear anybody telling you not to do this, they don't know what they're talking about. And it's using the stories. Every single person on every single account should be using the stories as much as possible. Instagram love it when you use every single feature that Instagram has to offer, but you'll also, the more that you use the stories, if any of your followers click on your story, it then triggers the algorithm to show them more of your posts. So if you don't do stories, you're actually losing out in a massive area of Instagram. And some people and some profiles now, they don't really post photos, or they don't really post videos. They just stick to the stories, and pretty much everything they post is in the stories. So if you haven't already started posting stories all the time, start doing it now, because you're missing out massively. It's one of the best ways to gain more engagement from your profile. But something to bear in mind with the stories, which is very important, is don't post too many within a 24-hour period. Now what I mean is, nobody wants to flick through 50 slides of you on holiday, for example, or people in the bar. Yes, they might be very interested in having a look at what you're doing, but maybe a maximum of about 5 to 10. Once you start going past that, most people won't get to the end. Now, if you're Justin Bieber or a massive famous artists, for example, yes, people might watch all 50 and you might see other people posting 40, 50 slides on the stories. But to be honest, unless you're absolutely massive, nobody is really going to spend the time in watching every individual one. And the fact is, if you post so many and people only watch a quarter of your stories, this will trigger the Instagram algorithm to say that your stories are boring or the person doesn't really like your content. Therefore, your stories are going to drop down in the list, and also the posts on their feed is also going to drop down. So a great change to Instagram, which is finally here, compared to 2019, is they're not blocking or temporary blocking as many accounts as they were in 2019. So 2019, as everybody should know, was an absolute nightmare for many, many accounts, with people getting soft blocks or 7-day blocks for literally doing nothing at all. So it's really refreshing to see that Instagram have stopped doing this as much, and also now they separate the blocks a lot more. So if you've been following too many people or unfollowing too many people, you might get a block for follows. And then every now and then they'll give you a block for posts. Sometimes they'll give you a block to send DMs as well. So it's nice to see that Instagram aren't just trying to block everyone, and they're actually letting people enjoy the platform. So one massive change to Instagram in 2020 is the way that the feed works. Now, before it's been in chronological order, or the posts that appear at the top of the profiles that you go on the most, but actually now, due to the fact that Instagram can read what's in the photo, which is built into the code, is if a lot of the time, for example, you love dogs, Instagram know that you love dogs because they know that you've been liking photos with dogs. So what they will do is they will actually rank posts higher on your feed due to your liking and commenting and engaging behavior. So you'll probably find that sometimes you might not even speak to one of your followers, and to be honest, they don't really rank at all on your feed. But if they post a photo, which is something that you like and you normally like a lot of the time, it will rank a lot higher than usual. So this is something very, very interesting, because now it's all about your behavior. If you go on a lot of hashtags and you start liking a lot of posts with football, for example, expect that your feed will start to sway a lot more to football. If you start clicking on or liking a lot of posts from the gym, expect your feed to start ranking gym posts a lot higher. Now, this is something very, very interesting. Also, I believe that it actually makes Instagram a lot better, because you're looking at stuff that you're a lot more interested in rather than just posts of somebody that you know. So as I said before, Instagram are now looking at your profile a lot more than they were before. And I don't mean just the posts. Now they're looking at the impressions and the reach and the profile visits a lot more. So for example, if nobody at all goes to your profile during the week and people only go to your profile when you post, this is a bit of a red flag for Instagram, because it means that you're not posting enough, so people forget about your profile, or two, most of your followers are fake and the only time you get any engagement at all is when you post and you possibly get on a hashtag. So it's very important that you constantly click on other people's profiles during the week, because if you get good engagement during the week, and I just mean that people literally going to your profile, checking it out and clicking off, when you do post, your post is gonna rank a lot higher. And this is one of the reasons that we brought out the service hyperpriming, because what it does is it warms up your post before the likes get there. And what this does, it shows Instagram that people are looking at your post, flicking through it. So when the likes do hit, you have a lot bigger chance of hitting the explore page and also the hashtags. This is something very, very important. Instagram are focusing so much, not just on the posts, but when you're not posting, how much you're on Instagram, how much people or your followers spend on your profile. As I said before, it's ratios and timings. If nobody's really going to your profile during the week at all, and they only go when, as I said before, when you post, it's really not good. So you need to be a lot more active on your profile, clicking through people, liking their posts. So when they get a like, you know, they've got a chance of actually clicking through to your profile. It's all about engagement all the way around. Hashtags. Hashtags are super important. Some people say that don't use hashtags. Don't listen to these people, because it's not true. The more hashtags that you use, the ideal number is 27, 9 low, 9 medium, and 9 high, and they have to be for the post and not for the profile. I'm sure you know this because we've mentioned it in most of our other videos, but now you need to be very careful with the hashtags that you use, because Instagram actually shadow banning a lot of posts for using the incorrect hashtag. Now, sometimes it's your fault because you have used the incorrect hashtag. Sometimes it's Instagram's fault. And we've been seeing this a lot with easy hashtags, for example, hashtag dog or hashtag cat. Now, we've got a couple of clients, they've got cat pages, they've got dog pages, and they use hashtag cat or hashtag dog in pretty much all of their posts because there's always a dog in it. Now, what Instagram are doing is actually after around about 4 to 5 posts, they are shadow banning every single post that continues to use hashtag dog. So what we recommend is only use the same hashtag a maximum of 4 times. Once you do that, rest that hashtag for a couple of days, search and try and find some other hashtags. Now, we've had clients come to us who've been growing fantastically, and over the last 2 months they've completely stopped growing and they couldn't understand why. And when we did check the hashtags, this was the reason, is most of their posts just weren't being ranked whatsoever because they were using banned hashtags or they were using hashtags that Instagram has flagged as spam. So be careful when using the hashtags, use them properly. So as I've iterated in many of my videos, try and use everything that Instagram gives you. Every single feature, stories, IGTV, the post, the more that you use Instagram as features, the more that they're going to boost your profile. They want you to be on the platform more, and they want your followers to be on the platform more. So the more you use Instagram, the more that engagement that you get from everybody else. That means they're on the platform longer, and Instagram are going to help you out a lot more. If you're only posting twice a week and you only spend maybe a maximum of 2 to 3 hours on the platform, don't expect to grow that well, because Instagram know you're not spending too much time on the platform, and they would prefer to spend their time and help other profiles that spend more time on there. And this is why we released our new HYPERGROWTH. We normally spend around about 6 to 7 hours a day on your profile. We're not just following and unfollowing, we're using it, we're going through the stories, we're going through the feed, which triggers the Instagram algorithm to tell them that you're spending time on there. And also, when you do post, you get a lot more engagement from it. Now, as I said, the HYPERGROWTH is by far the best package that we have ever released on GOSO, and the clients on there now are growing very fast and very organically as well, which is great to see. Most people actually on the HYPERGROWTH, you cannot tell whatsoever they are actually using it, and they are growing between 800 at the very low end up to about 1,500, 1,600 followers a month alone from the growth. Naturally, on top of that, some clients are getting around about 1,000 naturally, so the growth is 2,500 natural targeted followers each individual month. So this is a little bit of a long-winded video, but I think it is very important because there have been so many changes recently. And one of the changes that they were talking about a lot was hiding the likes, but that's actually seemed to go down, because I know that when they brought it out, it didn't really get very good press. People didn't really like it. And I've not heard anything of this. So if you haven't heard anything about hiding likes, please leave a comment below, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it. So thank you very much for watching the video. If you haven't been to the website, click the link below, go to goso.io. We've got loads of services, brand new website on there as well. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, leave a comment below. And if you want me to do a special video specifically for you or a certain topic, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to make you a video. Bye for now.